In this video, I have compiled a list of the top 5 best SSDs for gaming in the market that are worth buying. So let's get started. Number 5. One of the main reasons for snagging an SSD over other storage options is the insane speeds offered, so why not grab one of the fastest ones out there? The Seagate Fire CUDA 530 takes advantage of CGen 4, bringing you transfer speeds 2 times faster than the CGen 3 and 12 times faster than SATA SSDs. We're talking 7,300 MBS read speeds, making all your apps and games run smoother and quicker. Plus, with 6,000 MBS write speeds, all of your saves will be a breeze. The Fire CUDA 530 is a speed demon thanks to the 3D TLC non-technology used in its design. This gives it more endurance while also lowering the power consumption. That, combined with the built-in heatsink to ensure speeds are maintained even when working overtime, makes you hard-pressed to find a faster drive. You can also pack it full of files thanks to the 1 TB of storage. And if you're looking for a drive to slide into your PS5's M2 slot, the Fire CUDA 530 meets its specs for performance and dimensions. Number 4. The Sabrent Rocket 4 Plus was the first SSD to hit our lab using the new PCIe 18 controller, which is the follow-up to the immensely popular PCIe 16 controller found in basically every first-gen C 4.0 drive. Offering peak reads of 7,100 MBS and writes of 6,600 MBS, it wasn't only a major step up from the first generation of C 4.0 drives but a notable improvement over the Samsung 980 Pro, especially in terms of write performance. In testing, this performance was borne out too, with the faster write performance dominating Samsung's drive in the write tests. Real-world performance didn't always tell the same story, although the differences between these top drives can be slight. Even so, you're looking at a SSD hitting 5,868 MBS for reads and 5,630 MBS for writes. Impressive stuff. Sabrent has recently updated this drive to use faster NAND flash and also new firmware for the PCIe 18 controller. The quoted performance doesn't change with this update, but some performance metrics have improved, and it's that get closer to the competition while still offering solid value for money. One thing worth noting is that the SSD market is in a state of flux at the moment, with pricing shifting almost daily. On release, this was the cheapest second-gen C 4.0 you could lay your hands on, but there's often nothing between this and our top pick, the WD Black SN850, which is why this is in the second spot. This drive does run cooler than the SN850 though, which may be a factor if you're looking for a drive for a cramped case. Also, this is a drive worth keeping an eye on in the sales season as it's often keenly discounted, more so than the other drives here. Number 3. We've seen some incredible NVMe SSD releases recently, but they've tended to focus on top-end performance and come with prices to match. The WD Black SN770 bucks this trend, and like its predecessor, the SN750, is aimed at offering better value for money than outright performance. The main way it achieves this is by being a DRAM-less SSD drive. This saves a big chunk of the manufacturer's bill of materials, and thanks to advances in the latest controllers, it can be surprising how little impact this has on performance. Such drives are slower, don't get me wrong, but this new SN770 still quotes read and writes of 5,150 MBS and 4,900 MBS respectively. Not bad. The drive itself is a low-profile affair, with this 1 TB model boasting a single NAND flash module at the back, actually a rebranded Kioxia BICS 5 112-layer TLC chip, and the SanDisk controller towards the connector. Western Digital rarely reveals much about its controllers, and that's the case once again here. The SN770 is available in 4 sizes, 250 GB, 500 GB, 1 TB, and 2 TB. although there is number 4 TB option, which is a bit of a shame. If you want a seriously capacious drive, you're going to want to track down the Sabrent Rocket offerings, which go all the way up to 8 TB. The synthetic performance shows the SN770 trails more expensive drives in terms of reads, although the writes are much closer. The 4K performance is relatively impressive and shows that the SN770 has something to offer in this crowded marketplace. It's not too surprising that this drive outperforms Samsung's DRAM-less offering, as that is a C3.0 drive, after all, but the extent to which it does is impressive. It's worth noting that this drive can get hot when pushed, just like the SN850 in fact. It hit 76 degrees Celsius after a long day of testing, although that was without any direct cooling on it at all, not even a heatsink. It should be fine in most systems, especially if your motherboard does come with some cooling solution. It's in the real-world tests where the SN770 really struts its stuff. Basically, you'll be hard-pushed to tell the difference between this drive and much faster offerings in most day-to-day operations. Given this is the cheaper drive right now, that counts for a lot. If you need better performance, then the SN850 is clearly the better drive, but you will pay considerably more for it. The only problem issue for this drive is that we don't know for sure how fast a drive needs to be for Microsoft's direct storage. We know some developers have been targeting 5000 MBs, which is where the SN770 sits in our testing. So it should be good. And for the money, it's very tempting. If you're a serious gamer though, we'd recommend going a little bit higher up the product stack, and grabbing the WD Black SN850. Number 2. The Samsung 980 Pro is a $230 1TB high-performance SSD that uses the latest C technology that fits into most modern PCs and consoles. It delivers read and write speeds up to 7000 MBs and 5000 MBs respectively. For a little less than double the price, you can upgrade to 2 TB. Depending on the number of applications, programs, or games you want to run at lightning speed, gaining the extra storage space might be worth it. The Samsung 980 Pro uses C Gen 4 technology designed for hardcore and competitive gamers that want more and faster bandwidth while gaming. It's also ideal to run any demanding application that's heavy on graphics. To provide stable and consistent performance, as well as longevity, the 980 Pro offers reliable thermal control using a nickel coating that effectively dissipates heat. The drive's designed to last, as it has an impressive terabyte written (TBW) rating of 300 TBW at 500 GB up to 1200 TBW at 2 TB. The 980 Pro is also fully compatible with PlayStation 5 and C3.0 rigs. However, installing the drive in a 3.0 slot will limit the speeds. It'll still be over 3000 MBs. You can also install Samsung Magician to update firmware and further optimize the drive's performance and monitor its health. Number 1. Right now, cutting-edge contenders for the best SSD for gaming don't deliver big benefits over cheaper drives, in-game. Tested here in 1 TB form and also available in 500 GB and 2 TB capacities. The SN850 is an absolute screamer thanks to its quad-lane C Gen 4 interface, shiny new controller chipset, and a large 300 GB chunk of its SanDisk 96L3D TLC flash memory running in super-fast SLC cache mode. WD claimed that the SN850 can push 7000 MB and 5000 MB per second read and write respectively. Our testing found that the WD Black SN850 lived up to the claimed figures with 6996 MB read and 5205 MB per second write, actually surpassing the quoted figures. Where it really scores, however, is in 4K random performance, which is arguably more important in terms of how responsive your PC feels. At 250 MB per second, it's the fastest flash drive we've seen for 4K random writes at QDepth 1. Impressive. As you'd expect given the SLC cache provisioning, sustained performance is excellent, too, maintaining peak performance right up to that 300 GB marker, which should be plenty for most people. WD's confidence in the SN850's broader longevity is likewise indicated by the 5-year warranty and 6 TB write rating. All of which means our only reservations with this excellent SSD involve cooling and pricing. For the former, there is none as standard, which is a slight concern given this SSD can run hot. Thanks for watching, guys. That's all for now. I hope you guys liked this video. If this video is helpful to you, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Hope to see you guys in the next video.